I died screaming into the void of a crumpled dashboard, the metallic tang of blood thick in my throat, my brother's taillights vanishing into the night like a coward's getaway. Rain hammered the windshield as he swerved us off the bridge. On purpose, I know that now. Whispering apologies that tasted like lies while Mom's voice echoed in his head from that damned birthday cafe. While everyone's here, go and change everything. And just like that, the world went black, my last thought a bitter laugh at how I trusted them, how I'd built my life on their smiles, only for it to unravel in a spray of twisted steel and shattered glass. But death isn't the end. It's a goddamn reset button with teeth. I woke up gasping in my old Brooklyn apartment, sheets tangled around me like restraints, the alarm blaring 7 a.m. on my 25th birthday, the exact morning before it all went to hell. My hands flew to my face, feeling the smooth skin of a body unscarred by that crash, my heart pounding not from impact, but from the flood of memories crashing back. Every betrayal, every secret they'd buried under family barbecues and holiday toasts. I was Riley Harper again, alive, whole, and burning with a rage so pure it tasted like redemption. This time, I wouldn't be the good daughter, the forgiving sister. This time, I'd make them pay, starting with that cafe brunch where Mom's whisper lit the fuse. The mirror across the room showed a ghost of myself, wide green eyes framed by lashes still clumped from last night's mascara, auburn hair a wild halo from thrashing in my sleep. I looked 25, not 27 like in the afterlife limbo I'd clawed out of. God, or whatever cosmic joke ran this show, had dropped me right back into the week leading up to my birthday. The calendar on my phone confirmed it, December 2nd, 2025, the date I'd circled in red for a celebration that ended in my coffin. Outside, Brooklyn buzzed with the pre-holiday grind. Yellow cabs honking through slushy streets, the distant wail of sirens blending with the grind of coffee shops firing up for the morning rush. New York never slept, and neither would I now. I splashed water on my face, the cold shock grounding me as fragments of the past life pieced together like a nightmare puzzle. It started small, the cracks in our perfect Harper family facade. Dad's construction empire had boomed after the recession, turning our modest Queens row house into a brownstone on the Upper East Side. I was the golden child, the one who aced Yale on scholarships, landed the junior editor gig at that glossy mag downtown, while my brother, Ethan, coasted through community college on Dad's dime, charming his way into dead-end sales jobs. He was 6 years older, the big brother protector, with that easy grin and tousled blonde hair that made bartenders pour free shots. Mom doted on us both, her whispers always laced with that soft southern drawl she'd never shaken from her Georgia roots, even after 20 years in the city. But beneath the Instagram-ready family pics, Ethan seethed. I'd overheard him once, drunk at Thanksgiving, muttering to his buddies about how I stole the spotlight, how Dad's will, whispered about in hushed tones after his heart attack 2 years ago, left the bulk of the company to me because I had the brains. It wasn't true. Dad hadn't finalized anything. But Ethan believed it, nursed that grudge like a bad hangover. And Mom, she knew. She always knew. That birthday brunch at Le Café on Bleecker Street was supposed to be our annual tradition. Mimosas, avocado toast, the works. Everyone was there. Ethan, his girlfriend Tara, the gold-digging aspiring influencer, Mom, even Aunt Viv from Jersey with her yappy Pomeranian in a purse. Laughter flowed like the Prosecco until Mom leaned into Ethan's ear, her hand on his arm, lips barely moving. While everyone's here, go and change everything. I didn't catch it then, too busy scrolling emails on my phone, oblivious to the serpent in the garden. But in the weeks that followed, things unraveled. Ethan started helping with Dad's old files, organizing the brownstone's attic where the safe hid the deeds and stock papers. He planted doubts, forged emails making it look like I'd skimmed company funds for my lavish lifestyle. Lies, all of it. Tara amplified it online, subtle shade on her Insta stories. Family drama? More like trust issues. Blessed to have mine. The board turned on me, Dad's legacy slipping through my fingers like sand. Desperate, I confronted Ethan one rainy night, pleading for the truth. He lured me to that bridge in his beat-up Jeep, promising one last talk to fix it. Instead, he accelerated, the guardrail giving way, my screams drowned by thunder. Mom's call came hours later, feigned shock. "Oh, honey, The police say it was an accident. Wet roads, you know. Accident, my ass. In the void after death, truths peeled back like wallpaper. Ethan's forged docs, Mom's complicity. She'd whispered not to change everything, but to end it. Her fear of losing the family fortune to my ambitions, twisting her into a co-conspirator. They'd buried the evidence, split the inheritance, toasted my memory with the very money they'd killed for. Now, with a second chance, I'd unearth it all. But revenge wasn't a straight shot. It was a maze of moral gray zones, decisions that'd make me question if I was saving myself or becoming the monster. First move, reconnaissance. I grabbed my laptop, the one with the scratched yell stickers still peeling at the edges, and dove into the digital graveyard of my old life. Ethan's socials were a shrine to mediocrity, gym selfies, craft beer hauls, Tara draped over him like a knockoff Chanel. But I knew his passwords, siblings share sins. Logging into his email from my phone's hotspot, burner account, naturally, I scrolled back to that pre-brunch week. There it was, an encrypted thread with Mom, subject line for the family. Her words, Ethan, darlin', Riley's talking us down the wrong path. Your father's will. It's gotta be you. While everyone's here at the cafe, I'll give you the nod. Change everything. Attached, scanned pages of Dad's draft will, altered to favor Ethan, timestamped from her iPad. My stomach twisted, while rising like cheap whiskey. This wasn't just greed, it was erasure. They'd painted me as the villain in their rewrite of history. I forwarded copies to an anonymous drive, then logged into the company server, backdoor access from my editor days, when I'd moonlighted on corporate newsletters. The ledgers showed the embezzlement Ethan pinned on me, transfers to offshore accounts in his name, masked as vendor payments. He'd been siphoning for months, framing me to cover his tracks. Tara's role? She managed the dummy socials for his consulting side hustle, laundering cash through fake influencer deals. Breathing steady, I mapped it out on a yellow legal pad, the kind Dad used to doodle blueprints on. Step 1, fortify my position. Call the lawyer, pretend concern over family rumors about the will. Step 2, sow discord. Leak hints to Tara, watch her paranoia crack their facade. Step 3, the cafe confrontation, not a scream fest, but a surgical strike, recordings rolling, truths spilling like spilled mimosas. But as I outlined it, doubt crept in. Exposing them meant dragging Aunt Viv into the mud, maybe losing the brownstone we'd all grown up fighting over. Was burning it down worth the ashes? Hell yes, whispered the part of me still tasting blood from the wreck. This was America, baby, land of second chances and scorched earth comebacks. By noon, I was out the door, Ugg boots sloshing through puddles toward the subway. The air bit with that early December chill, Christmas lights already twinkling in shop windows like false promises. I needed coffee, black, no sugar, to fuel the fire, and intel from the streets. Le Café was my first stop, not for brunch yet, but to case the joint. The place was a Greenwich Village staple. Exposed brick walls hung with local art, baristas calling orders in that affected hipster lilt. I slid into a corner booth, the same one we'd claimed for birthdays, and ordered a drip from the freckled kid behind the counter. Jake, his name tag read, with tattoos snaking up his forearms like secrets. Quiet today, I said, casual as a chat about the weather. He shrugged, wiping steam from a pitcher. Yeah, pre-holiday lull. You here for the rush later? Big family thing. My laugh came out sharper than intended. Something like that. Hey, you remember last year's birthday crowd? Rowdy bunch in the back. Jake's eyes lit up, the universal barista curse of remembering every asshole customer. Oh yeah, the Harpers? Blonde guy and his loud girlfriend, silver-haired mom with the accent? Total vibe killers. Dude kept sending back his eggs, too runny, while flirting with my coworker. Girlfriend posted the whole thing online, tagged us. We got a spike in followers, at least. Bingo. Tara's Insta vanity had left a trail. Mind if I peek at the security footage? Old habit. I'm a writer, always hunting stories. He hesitated, then grinned. For a free plug? Sure. Back office, 5 minutes tops. The grainy feed from last December played like a bad home movie. Us laughing over crepes, Mom's head dipping toward Ethan's, her whisper lost in the clink of silverware. No audio, but the body language screamed conspiracy. His nod, her squeeze on his hand. I snapped stills on my phone, heart racing like I'd chugged an espresso shot. This was gold, Admissible if I played it right. Back on the street, wind whipping my scarf, I texted the family group chat, the one I'd muted in my past life. Can't wait for brunch tomorrow. Mom, your pecan pie recipe still the secret weapon? Face blowing kiss bait. Ethan's reply pinged instant. Hell yes, sis. Bringing Tara, gonna be epic. The enthusiasm dripped false, but it'd lure them in. That night, alone in the apartment with takeout Thai and a bottle of Cab Soft, I prepped the arsenal. Downloaded a voice recorder app with encryption, scripted my lines, not accusations, but questions designed to draw confessions. Ethan, remember that bridge drive? Felt like old times. Let him squirm. For Mom, softer. You always said family first. What changed? The controversial bit gnawed at me. To really gut them, I'd need to go nuclear. Hack Tara's phone, expose her side scams? Or worse, tip off the feds on those offshore wires, risking prison for Ethan, but collateral for innocence tied to his mess. It'd make headlines. Heiress siblings in scandal. Fraud or family feud? The press would feast, my name dragged through the tabloids. But silence. That was death sentence number 2. Sleep came fitful, dreams replaying the crash, tires screeching, Ethan's panicked. It was an accident, as we plummeted. I bolted up at 3 a.m., sweat-soaked, vowing no mercy. Dawn broke gray, the city stirring like a beast from hibernation. Shower, blowout on my hair, wore paint in the form of red lipstick, a power suit under my wool coat. The subway rattled me downtown, each stop a countdown to detonation. Le Café hummed by 10 a.m., the air thick with cinnamon and chatter. Aunt Viv arrived first, her perfume a cloud of Chanel No. 5, yapping about Uncle Lou's gout. Riley, darling, you look fierce. Turning 25 suits you. Hugs exchanged, menus scanned. Then Tara swept in, all yoga pants and blowout waves, air kissing like we were sorority sisters. Obsessed with this place, great light for pics. She snapped a boomerang of her latte art, oblivious to the storm brewing. Ethan and Mom last, hand in hand like the picture-perfect duo. His grin faltered when he saw me. Did he sense it? The echo? Hey, little sis. Ready to party. Mom enveloped me in lavender-scented arms, her whisper now innocent. Happy birthday, baby girl. Let's make memories. We ordered. Eggs Benny for me. The works. And the small talk flowed. Tara's brand deals. Aunt Viv's bridge club drama. But my mind ticked like a bomb. Midway through mimosas, as laughter peaked, I leaned in, voice steady. Ethan, remember Dad's will? The one we all joked about. Funny how things change, huh? His fork paused midair, eyes flicking to Mom. What are you on about, Ree? Ancient history. Not so ancient. I pulled out my phone, the still from the footage cued. Saw this clip. Mom whispering to you right here, last year. Change everything. Care to fill in the blanks? The table froze. Aunt Viv's wine glass clinked down hard. Tara's perfectly arched brow shot up. Mom's face drained of color, her drawl cracking. Riley, that's out of context. Context. I laughed, low and lethal. Like how you two rewrote Dad's will, framed me for theft. Those came in accounts. Ethan, sloppy hiding spots. He lunged forward, voice a hiss. You don't know shit. It was for the family. For you. I cut in, hitting record on the hidden app in my pocket. Admit it. The bridge wasn't rain. It was you flooring it to shut me up. Gasps rippled. Aunt Viv clutching her pearls. Tara scrolling furiously on her phone, piecing it together. Mom's eyes welled, but not with remorse, fear. Ethan, tell her it's not. It's done. He snarled, standing, chair scraping like nails on chalkboard. You think you can blackmail us? I'll bury you again. The cafe's hum dipped, heads turning. Jake the barista hovered, towel in hand. My heart thundered, but I held, the weight of 2 lives fueling me. Try it. This time, the cops get the files first. Tara bolted then, muttering about toxic vibes, her heels clicking out into the rain. Aunt Viv whispered, call me later, honey, fleeing with dignity intact. Left, me, Ethan, Mom, the wreckage of brunch plates. He grabbed my arm, hard, hissing threats of lawsuits, disownment. Mom sobbed quietly. I did it for him, Riley. He was lost without your father. For him. Rage boiled over. You let me die for his ego? The slap came from nowhere. Ethan's hand cracking across my cheek, the sting blooming hot. Café erupted. Shouts. Jake yelling, get out. Sirens wailed distant. Or maybe that was just my pulse. I touched my lip, tasting copper. Not blood, but close. That's assault on tape, I said, calm as a loaded gun. See you in court. They stormed out, Mom casting a broken look back. I sat, alone amid the stairs, ordering another mimosa. Victory tasted bittersweet, half sweet orange, half vinegar sting. But it was just round one. The days blurred into a fever dream of lawyers and leaks, New York's underbelly churning like the East River at low tide. By evening of the brunch bloodbath, my phone was a war zone. Voicemails from Ethan's attorney threatening defamation suits, texts from Tara, WTF Riley, you're ruining everything. And a single, trembling call from Mom, come home. We can talk. Please. I deleted them all, forwarding the damning ones to my contact at the DA's office, a bulldog named Carla who'd owed me a favor since I ghostwrote her op-ed on white-collar crime. Carla called back at midnight, her voice gravel from too many smokes. Harper, this is dynamite. Forgery, embezzlement, attempted murder? If that bridge story holds, your brother's looking at 20 plus. But it's your word against theirs without forensics. Push for the Jeep's black box. I know a tech guy who can pull ghosts from the machine. I paced my apartment, the city lights smearing gold across the fire escape. Do it. And the will, get a handwriting expert. Mom's prints are all over those alterations. She chuckled, dark. Ruthless. I like it. But heads up. This blows up, the press will eviscerate you. Heiress wars, sibling slaughter. You ready for that circus? Was I? The mirror showed a bruise purpling my cheek, a badge of the new me, harder, unyielding. In my past life, I'd crumbled under scrutiny, letting their lies metastasize. This time, let the vultures circle. Bring it. Sleep evaded me, so I dove deeper, cracking open the family crypt via Ethan's cloud backups. Stupid password. Harper King 1. Folders upon folders of dirt. Photos of him snorting lines at Hampton's parties. Emails to shady accountants routing funds through Tara's wellness retreats. But the real gut punch? A video time-stamped 2 weeks pre-crash. Mom and Ethan in the brownstone study. Dad's portrait looming like a judge. She hands him the will draft, voice steady. Sign it like Pa did. Riley's too wild. City's changed her. This keeps us together. He hesitates, then forges it, her hand guiding his. For the family, she murmurs. Cut to black. Tears stung, hot, and unwelcome. Mom wasn't the villain I'd painted. She was the architect, molding Ethan into her weapon out of some warped maternal fear. I'd idolized her. Her stories of peach orchards back home, her quiet strength after Dad's chemo. Now, she was just another climber in the American dream meat grinder, where love twists into legacy at any cost. Dawn brought a knock. Unexpected, insistent. Aunt Viv, bundled in a puffer coat, thermos of chamomile in hand. Girl, you look like hell warmed over. Let me in before the neighbors think you're running a speakeasy. We settled on the couch, her dog yipping at my ankles. She didn't mince. Saw the bruise. Ethan's a hothead, always was, but your mama. Lord, Riley, she's scared. Called me last night, blubbering about losing another child. But I ain't blind. That whisper at the cafe? I caught the edge of it. Something about the will. I spilled it all, the video playing on my laptop like a confessional reel. Viv watched stone-faced, then sighed. Your granny warned me about Ruth. Ambition like kudzu chokes everything. But Ethan? He's her puppet. Question is, you gonna cut the strings or burn the stage? Her words hung, a crossroads. Mercy meant therapy, family counseling, hallmark of the forgiving American tale. But revenge? It whispered sweeter, promising justice in indictments and asset freezes. Both, I said finally. I'll offer a deal. Confess, return the money, and I bury the attempted murder angle. No jail, just restitution. They refuse? Full scorched earth. Viv nodded, proud. That's my niece, Harper Steele. But watch your back. Ethan's cornered dog's bite. She left with a hug, and I geared up. Call to the brownstone super, bribed for attic access cams. A drop-in at the precinct to file the assault report. The cop, a weary Irish named O'Malley, raised a brow at my tale. Family beef, tin-in felony? Seen it before. We'll pull the Jeep records. Your brother's Vince in the system from a DUI scrape last year. By afternoon, I was at the magazine office, feigning normalcy amid the open-plan chaos of ringing phones and intern hustle. My boss, Miranda, think Devil Wears Prada minus the whimsy, summoned me to her glass airy. Riley, darling. What's this I hear about you trending on TikTok? Birthday brawl at Bleecker Café? Spill, or I'll assign you the Cat Cafe fluff piece. I spun a sanitized version. Family drama, Miranda. Sibling rivalry over dad's estate. Might make a killer first-person essay. Blood money. The cost of inheritance. Her eyes lit like a shark scenting chum. Yes. Raw. Controversial. Readers eat that up. But tread light. We don't do hit jobs without sources. Sources. Right. I had a Rolodex of them brewing. Jake from the cafe, willing for a shout-out. Carla's forensics prelims. Even Tara's ex. A bitter barista who dimmed me post-brunch. She's been bleeding your bro dry. Got receipts if you want him. Evening fell heavy. Rain lashing my window like accusations. I drafted the deal email to Ethan and Mom. CC'd their lawyer for optics. Confessed to the forgeries. Wire back the $250,000 siphoned. Public apology, and we call it square. Refuse, and the DA gets everything by Friday. Attach. Video snippet, ledger screenshots. Send. Reply came swift. Ethan's number. You bitch. This is war. See you in hell. Blocked. But Mom's followed, a voice note, voice cracking. Riley, I never met. The bridge was his idea. Meet me tomorrow, neutral ground. The park by the brownstone. Come alone. Trap? Maybe. But curiosity, the itch of unfinished blood, pulled. I agreed, then called Carla. Vest me up. Just in case. Night deepened. The city a neon vein pulsing outside. I lay awake, replaying forks in the road. Drop it now? Salvage scraps of family? Or push, risk becoming the tabloid villain, the vindictive sister in their narrative flip. Controversy brewed in every choice. Expose Mom's maternal machinations, and I'd torch the myth of the perfect Southern mama. Nail Ethan, and I'd orphan myself from the only kin left. Yet the rage anchored me. This was payback for stolen years, for a death they'd dressed as accident. Morning broke crisp, frost etching the panes. I suited up, jeans, leather jacket, the wire hidden under my scarf, and headed uptown, the 6 train rattling like bones. Central Park loomed, bare branches clawing at a slate sky, joggers weaving through the chill. Mom waited on our old bench by the Bethesda fountain, bundled in cashmere, face gaunt as a ghost. No Ethan, good sign. Riley, she breathed, standing, arms outstretched. I dodged the hug, sitting rigid. Talk. Tears tracked her cheeks, mascara smudging. It was fear, baby. After your pa Ethan spiraled. Booze, girls, debts pilling up. I thought if he had the company, stability, you'd understand, move on. The whisper, it was code for the safe key. I never wanted. The crash. I pressed, voice steel. You knew he lured me there. She crumpled, sobs racking. He called after, hysterical. Mom, I didn't mean, slipped on the wet. I told him to run, cover it. God forgive me, I protected him. Not you. The wire hummed silent, Carla listening miles away. Confession gold. But pity flickered. Her eyes, Dad's eyes, pleading. Why me? I loved you. Because you're strong, she whispered. Too strong. We couldn't compete. I stood, the park spinning slow. Wire the money by noon. Testify against him. Or I walk, and the tape plays in court. She nodded, broken. Anything. Just. Don't hate me forever. Hate. It ebbed, replaced by a hollow win. As I left, phone buzzed. Carla. Got it all. Ironclad. Your call on charges. Back downtown, the office buzzed with my essay pitch greenlit. Miranda foaming for the real dirt. Tara's ex delivered. Screenshots of her catfishing marks. Ethan co-signing the scams. I leaked anonymously to a gossip site, watching the dominoes tip. Influencer and heist? Brother sis feud exposes fraud ring. Ethan's retaliation hit that night. A brick through my window, note taped. Back off or next one's your skull. Cops hauled him in by dawn. The black box confirming acceleration, no skid marks. Mom turned states, her testimony a tearful mea culpa in pretrial depots. But the twist gutted me deepest, buried in Dad's safe, a letter unsealed for the first time. His words, to my girls, Riley, the fire, Ruth, the root. The company is Riley's by merit, but Ethan's by need. Share it, or lose it all. He'd planned equity for us 3, balanced. Mom's fear had blinded her to grace. Trial loomed, a media circus. Headlines screaming Harper betrayal, blood, bucks, and broken bonds. I testified cool. The bruise faded but scars eternal. Ethan glared from the dock. Tara ghosted to L.A. with a new mark. Mom. House arrest. Her drawl muted in pleas for forgiveness. Verdict day. Rain again. Poetic cruelty. Guilty. Ethan, 15 years fraud and manslaughter. Mom, 5 for conspiracy. Suspended if she restituted. I walked out free, the brownstone mine by default, but hollow. Twist's end. In the void pre-rebirth, I glimpsed one more truth. My death wasn't random cosmic gift. Dad's spirit, maybe, or sheer spite. Whatever, it handed me the pen to rewrite. I sold the company shares, funded a nonprofit for fraud victims, ironic justice. Aunt Viv moved in, her yaps filling the quiet. Mom wrote letters from probation, unanswered. Ethan, rotting, sending hate mail I burned. Happy ending? Nah, by tragic. I won the war, but the family graved deeper. Yet in the cafe's steam-fogged mirror months later, sipping solo on a new birthday, I saw not a ghost, but a survivor. Changed everything? Damn right. And for once, it stuck. No, wait, that wasn't the end. The real unraveling hit post-verdict, when the vultures descended not just on headlines, but my doorstep. New York's gossip mills ground finer than a Cuisinart, churning my essay into a bidding war. Netflix docuseries offers, podcast invites from true crime bros with mic breath. Miranda rode the wave, bumping me to senior editor with a corner office overlooking the Hudson. Views of freedom, she joked. But freedom tasted like ash, laced with the what-ifs that haunted my nights. What if I'd let it slide, played the long game of therapy and trust funds? What if Mom's fear was just love gone toxic, redeemable with enough Hail Marys? I threw myself into work. The mag's holiday issue, a beast of evergreen lists and aspirational spreads. Revenge, hot or not, became my lead piece. Anonymous contributors spilling on exes doxed, bosses ousted. Readers lapped it up, comments a battlefield. Slay Queen versus vindictive much? Family sacred. Controversial? Check. The mailbag overflowed with Me Too tales, women who'd swallowed betrayals like bad oysters, now purging. It fueled me, a proxy army in my war on silence. But Ethan wouldn't fade. From Rikers, his letters piled. First rage, you ruined me, you jealous cunt. Then wheedling, sis, appeal it. Blood's thicker. I shredded them, but one slipped through, pinned in Mom's looping script, smuggled somehow. He's broken, Riley. Visits are hell. He talks to walls now, sees your face in the shadows. Mercy, for Pa's sake. Mercy. The word clawed, echoing Dad's letter. I'd won the spoils, but at what cost? Aunt Viv noticed. Over our weekly brunches at a new spot in Williamsburg. Hipper, safer. You're wasting away, girl. That fire in your eyes? It's banking low. Don't let him haunt you from afar. She was right. The bruise had healed, but phantom pains lingered. A twinge in my neck like whiplash ghosts. Nightmares of bridges buckling underfoot. I started running. Central Park loops at dawn. Pounding pavement till lungs burned, outpacing the doubts. There, amid the dog walkers and dawn yogis, I met Lena, sharp as a switchblade, a litigator with cornrows and a laugh like summer thunder. We bonded over Gatorade at a fountain. Her case, a corporate whistleblower's suit. Mine, the family implosion. Sounds like you pulled a Trojan horse on your own Troy, she said, eyes crinkling. Respect, but healing? That's the sequel nobody writes. Her words stuck, germinating over coffee dates that stretched to dinners. Ethiopian injera slathered in spicy stews. Her stories of growing up in bed-stewy projects, clawing to Columbia law. No pity parties. Lena was steel-wrapped in silk, challenging my walls without breach. Revenge is a sugar high, she'd say, clinking her glass. Sustainably? Build something they can't touch. Inspired, I pivoted the nonprofit, Harper Legacy Fund. Not just restitution checks, but mentorships for kids from fractured homes, scholarships, therapy pods, legal clinics. First event, a panel at the YWCA, me moderating ex-cons turned advocates. Crowd packed the hall, faces a mosaic of hope and hurt. Q&A turned raw, a teen asking, how do you forgive without forgetting? I paused, microphone heavy. You don't. You honor the scar. Let it remind you you're unbreakable. Post-talk, A shadow in the lobby. Tara. Gaunter. Dye job faded to brassy roots. Clutching a manila envelope. Riley. Need to talk. Off record. We stepped into the alley, rain-slick bricks closing in. Her voice trembled. Not fear, but calculation. Ethan's rotting, but you? You're thriving. I got dirt. Real dirt. On your mom. Before the wool shit. My pulse spiked. Spit it. She handed the envelope. Printouts, emails from a PI firm, dated pre-dad's death. Mom hiring surveillance on me, not Ethan me. Follow the girl. See if she's clean. Photos, me at Yale parties, harmless hookups, me job hunting, nothing shady. But the final report, subject appears stable. No leverage. Leverage. Mom'd been digging for ammo years before, preempting my threat. Why now? I demanded. Tara shrugged, eyes hard. Cut me a check, $50K, and I'll vanish. Ethan's done me dirty too. I laughed cold. Blackmail's your brand. Walk. She sneered, but slunk off. The docs burned holes in my bag, another layer peeled. Mom's paranoia wasn't new. It was chronic, a disease eating at trust. I forwarded to Carla. No charges, just archive. But it shifted something. Pity for the woman who'd birthed me, warped by her own ghosts. Lena called that night, voice a bomb. Heard about the panel, killed it. Dinner? My treat, spicy enough to exorcise demons. We met at a hole-in-the-wall in Harlem, jukebox crooning Motown over plates of oxtails. Midway through, she slid a key across the table, not hers, but to a storage unit. Your real twist, Riley. Cracked Ethan's lawyer's cloud. Pro bono, call it curiosity. Inside, the original will. Dad's handwriting, untouched. He left it all split 3 ways, with a codicil. To Ethan, the heart. Riley, the head. Ruth, the hands. Balanced. Your mom. She burned her copy in fear. The key weighed like fate. We drove to Queen's Postmeal, the unit a tomb of boxes labeled Harper Estate. There, the envelope, sealed with Dad's wax stamp. I broke it, tears blurring ink. His words, if greed creeps, remember, legacy's shared, or it's lost. Back home, I drafted the appeal, reduce Ethan's sentence, commute moms to community service. Controversial? Hell yes. Victims groups held soft on crime. Tabloids dubbed me the forgiving fury. But Lena was there, hand in mine at the hearing. You're not absolving. You're authoring the end you deserve. Ethan, shackled in orange, gaped as the judge halved his time, probation with restitution. Why? He croaked post-ruling through plexiglass. Not for you, I said. For the brother I mourned. And the mom who tried. Mom's release party was quiet. Aunt Viv's backyard, string lights twinkling over potato salad. She hugged me fierce, whispering not conspiracy, but gratitude. Change everything? I did, finally saw clear. We rebuilt slow, family dinners sans booze, therapy circles where apologies weren't band-aids, but bridges. Tara faded to irrelevance, her scams exposed in my next piece, Digital Ghosts, When Likes Lie. The fun thrived, kids writing thank yous that mended cracks I didn't know bled. 1 year on, birthday at Le Café, full circle. Jake the barista comped mimosas, winking. Heard you made it epic. Lena beside me, Aunt Viv across, Mom tentative at the end. No whispers, just toasts. To scars, to seconds, to changing not everything, but enough. The rain outside, it fell soft, washing clean. But clean? Nah, that's the lie we tell ourselves in the afterglow, when the scars itch under silk blouses and the what-ifs circle like pigeons on a fire escape. A year post-verdict, and the Harper saga had morphed from scandal to sidebar. My essay a bestseller, the funded darling of TEDx circuits. I keynoted in Austin one spring morning, voice steady over a sea of nodding heads. Revenge isn't the arc, it's the catalyst. What you build after, that's the legacy. Applause thundered, Lena's text buzzing mid-curtsy. Stole the show, babe. Tequila waiting in NYC. Flight home was turbulence-free, mirroring the calm I'd faked in a habit. But landing at JFK, reality sideswiped. A voicemail from an unknown 212 number, Ethan's gravelly timbre. Out early, good behavior. Meet me. Unfinished business. My grip tightened on the armrest, old instincts flaring. Parole? The appeal's fine print. Model prisoner, he'd shaved months. Shit. I didn't tell Lena, not yet. Drove straight to the brownstone. Now a co-op I'd half-gutted for an artist's loft vibe. Exposed beams. Bookshelves groaning with unread galleys. Mom was there, pruning her window herbs. Her silver streak more salt than pepper. Riley? You're early, Lena coming? Later. I handed her the phone. Hit play. Her face crumpled, knife clattering to the sill. He can't. Not yet. Parole board saw your letters. Reformed sun cells. Bitterness edged my tone. What now, Mom? Round 3. She sank to the stool, hands twisting. I visit weekly. He's different. Therapy, they say. Reads self-help. Paints. Badly, but tries. Wants to make amends. Amends. The word soured, like milk left too long. With what? The money's gone to the fund. Pride? That's bankrupt. Her eyes, Dad's eyes, pleaded. Give him coffee. Neutral. Like we did for you. Me? I demanded trials, tapes. But her logic wormed. Cycle or break it. I agreed, reluctantly. Tompkins Square Park, noon next day. Neutral ground. My .38 in purse, legal, post threats, pepper spray backup. Park buzzed midday. Frisbee flingers, buskers strumming Dylan covers. Ethan waited on a bench, thinner, tattoos faded under jail pallor, no shackles but the invisible ones. He stood awkward, hands shoved in hoodie pockets. Thanks for coming. I sat distant, bench's armrest a barrier. Spit it. What's the business? He exhaled, breath fogging the chill. Not here to grovel, yet. Heard about the fund. Copied the model and group. Started a lit circle for inmates. Your essay. Read it cover to cover. Hit hard. Surprise flickered, genuine? His eyes, once sly, held a haunted glaze. Tara? Bailed after the indictments. Clean now, mostly, construction gig, night classes. But the crash. Replays every night. Your scream. Goosebumps prickled, not from wind. You killed me, Ethan. Forged, framed, floored it. Words don't rewind that. I know. He pulled a sketch pad, flipping to a page. Charcoal rendering of the bridge, our Jeep mid-plunge, my face frozen in terror. Crude, but visceral. Art therapy. Doc says confront it. This is me trying. I traced the lines, throat tight. Art. From the brother who'd mocked my Yale sketches? Why show me? Cause hates a chain. You broke yours, testified mercy. My turn. He slid an envelope across. Deed to his old Jeep, scrapped but titled. Sell it. Donate. Or burn. Yours. I took it, paper crisp, as absolution. No apology gushed, but the gesture landed, a crack in the armor. One coffee, I said. Tomorrow. But cross me, and it's done. He nodded, vanishing into the crowd like smoke. Back home. Lena waited. Take out falafel, wine uncorked. I spilled, her brow furrowing. Gutsy. But trust? Earned slow. Coffee at a midtown dive. Him in flannel, me in armor, sunglasses, recorder app live. Talk flowed halting. Prison tales, fights dodged, books devoured. My fund wins, a kid's scholarship speech verbatim. Laughter slipped, remembering Dad's bad puns, Mom's burnt pies. Not forgiveness, but thaw. Weeks blurred. Group hikes in the Palisades, him crashing Aunt Viv's game nights. Her side-eye, thawing to reluctant hugs. Mom hovered, mediator in her pearls. Controversy simmered. Online trolls dubbing me Stockholm sis. Victims forums flaming traitor to truth. Lena grounded. Your story, your edit. The real test. Fun gala. Black tie at the Met. Ethan showed. Clean-shaven, suit rented but pressed. Volunteering coat check. Whispers rippled. That's the brother. The killer. I mingled. Champagne flute steady. Introducing him casual. Ethan, my +1 in redemption. A donor balked. How can you? I met her gaze. Because grace isn't weakness, it's power. Midnight, rooftop under stars, he clinked my glass. Thanks, Ree, for the shot. Don't thank yet. I pulled Dad's letter, the original. Read it. Really read. We split the remnants, equal. No more games. Tears tracked his face, first real ones. Pa would've. Yeah. Twist's final coil. Months later, a package, anonymous, postmarked Georgia. Inside, Mom's old diary, pages yellowed. Entries from my death. Lost her twice. Once to the city, now to the river. God, what have I wrought? Followed by resolve. Change for the living. For Ethan. For the girl I failed. She'd chronicled her therapy. The letters to me. Burned unsent. Fear of rejection. Last page. Riley's mercy? My mirror. Time to reflect. I shared with the family. Dinner at the brownstone, table groaning with her pecan pie, unburnt. Toasts rose. To-go slayed, to chains snapped. Ethan spoke last, voice rough. I changed everything once, wrong way. This, right. Lena and I slipped out post-meal, walking the stoop under sodium lamps. You did it, she murmured, hand warm in mine. Not happy ending, real one. Real, messy, scarred, but ours. The cafe called next birthday. Full house. No whispers but wishes. Rain fell outside, but inside. Light. Changed everything. We had, at last,